Advent is a time of waiting, but it's also a time of great joy and celebration. We have the privilege of looking back, of remembering when our Saviour and Messiah came to earth to redeem us and make all things new. Joy was written by Kim Foster at the Leprosy Mission's Peterborough office. I will never forget the gift from my husband on our very first Christmas as a married couple. He had wrapped an enormous box and filled it with little paper snowflakes and stars. It was so exciting looking through all the paper to find train tickets to Paris for a Valentine's Day trip. I was thrilled at the romance. I've also had disappointments on Christmas morning, like the year he got me kitchen gadgets. Were my feelings of disappointment really unmet expectations? We still joke about it, and he'll never live it down. Have you ever had a time when you experienced unmet expectations? How did you respond? Through the years, I've experienced both exhilaration and disappointment at Christmas. But these feelings are based upon material expectations. Having real joy is not based on things or circumstances, but in the choice to live in God's extravagant grace every day. The first Christmas in Bethlehem also had unmet expectations and unexpected circumstances. I'm sure Joseph didn't imagine that he would become a dad so soon. And Mary certainly didn't expect a dirty manger for her first child. This young couple, even in their unforeseen and possibly unwanted circumstances, experienced the joy of new birth. They chose to trust and walk in the Lord's plans for their lives. When they were visited by shepherds from the surrounding area, Mary must have remembered the words she sang in Luke 1 verse 47. My spirit rejoices in God my Saviour. Real joy was found in Bethlehem. And that night, God showed Mary and Joseph that real joy was for everyone. Not only for people who could afford expensive gifts or beautiful clothes, but also for the humble and meek. In Luke chapter 2, angels announced the arrival of Jesus to a group of shepherds. This wasn't the first time God used shepherds in his plan. Many Old Testament heroes, including Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses, and Amos, were also shepherds. Shepherds protect their flock from wild animals and the harsh environments, and they guide their sheep safely home. They ensure there is enough to eat and drink. Their presence provides comfort. Sheep know their shepherd's voice and rest in his presence. The Lord does the same for those who follow him. King David, perhaps the most famous of all shepherds, was selected to rule over Israel. He knew how to be joyful, no matter the circumstances. He found joy in the Lord when victories and miraculous answers to prayer abounded, but it also when he was in a pit of loss, anguish, and depression. David's joy overflowed out of his heart for the Lord. Circumstances did not dictate his joy or his faith in God. We can choose to be joyful, to be confident in the Lord, content, obedient to him, and to rest in his plan for our lives. You may be in the middle of a difficult season with unmet expectations and unfulfilled desires, but the Bible tells us that we can have joy in the midst of all that. This Christmas, and always, let's choose to cultivate joy in our lives despite our circumstances, because our shepherd is caring for us every step of the way.